Good evening and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. I am your host, your caster, your referee, your observer, your second best boy, Bahamut. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for checking on in. And once again, Rackham, once again, thank you so much for all the gifted subs before we got into this. And welcome back to everyone who resubbed up. Porky, Zex, Stark, and Sitten. But all that aside, I know you've been sitting here for all of the off season. You're sitting there and you're just like, but Bahamut, how did we get to Tomb the Spider Queen? And don't you worry, don't you fret, don't you fear, I have got you covered. The home team this evening is going to be Party Time. They lost the coin flip, giving first pick priority over to the side of Saltscale Mrgles. Dragonshire was the first map banned by them. Sky Temple is going to be banned out by them as well. Towers of Doom and Cursed Hollow will be the first two bands coming out, or will be the bands coming out from Party Time. And then we're going to be seeing Tomb of the Spider Queen, chosen by the members of Party Time as our first map. And let's go ahead and get back into the draft and check out what we get here at the start. You're my first best boy. But what about Zell? What about Bandit? He is the #1 best boy. Not much. How's your Thanksgiving you had with Cat Peach? Everyone else, I can't remember. I had a blast with Cat Peach. We met up in Sacramento with some other friends, and we just did a big Friendsgiving on Thanksgiving because none of us have family out here. So it was really fun. It was really relaxing. It was there's other dog there, so it was a good time. It was just fun overall. So thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. And it's good to see all of you once again. The Thanksgiving break was really nice. It was needed to get away from the computer in the house for a little bit, but I've been itching to get into these casts. So let's see here. We have a Junkrat and Sylvanas being banned out once again. Control and Push Power being removed. Alarak and Ariel being removed on the right-hand side, as Alarak is really good at fighting, as well as strong within the rotations between lanes. We are going to be seeing this Malfurion Joanna on the left-hand side, picked up by the members of Party Time. Now, for them, this makes a lot of sense. You have Roots to follow up onto the Joanna slow, as well as the Condemned to set up. But now we're going to be seeing an Ana picked up here on the right-hand side for Saltscale Mrgles and then ETC Nazebo. Now, Tomb of Spider Queen typically goes very late, so that's why the Nazebo pick makes sense. Now, you can take this Nazebo a lot later, but you're saying to the enemy team, all right, we're going to be playing for 20. We're looking for that late game potential, and that's definitely one of the things that they're going to consider now on the side of Party Time. Maltheo will be banned out, as they do not want to deal with that in the solo lane, or even maybe the fact that they're going to be going for more tanky solo lane matchup, maybe something like a Urel. Duke, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that, my friend. Also, Null, thank you for the follow as well. For anyone that might have missed it, by the way, if you got gifted a sub, enjoy your asthma pugs, your finger guns, your Baja Rages, and your Gilded Beard in chat. Sorry, Bandit was trying to find his hedgehog toy, and he finally found it, and I could hear him, like, pounce on it behind me. Yeah, you find it, bud? You happy about that? You find your hedgehog? You're a good boy. Okay, Malthael and Gul'dan going to be banned out. Gul'dan makes a lot of sense here. He can actually he can clear the waves quite quickly. Boss control with the Horrify is a strong tool, so they'll go ahead and say, cool, we'll grab Kael'thas. We have the Joanna for the grouping of minions, and they're going to grab a Greymane as well on top of that. Wave clear, fight potential, very strong for Party Time. But now, Saltscale Mrgles. What are you going to do to round out your draft? Nazebo's obviously in the 4-man. There's no way you stick Nazebo in bottom lane. That's just so counterintuitive to how his playstyle works. We also had some changes coming to Nazebo last week, so I'm excited to see how those fit into this draft here. But we do have a Hanzo and an Imperius. Okay, so it will be Imperius for the solo lane, Hanzo to rotate between lanes and help out. Based on the draft here, I'm actually thinking we might be leaning into something like an Eye of Horus for Ana, as Leorc is going to be the last pick on the left-hand side into Imperius. Yeah, you find that squeaker boy? Yeah? His tail, he's just so happy. Keeks, yes. Keeks, enjoy your gifted sub. But Leorc to round out the draft makes a lot of sense for me. Into the Imperius, that's very strong. He's also got a lot of wave clear on his own. He's got a lot of good team fight with the draft that's already been built. For example, you get that in Tomb, and then you throw a Chain Bomb in from Kael'thas. You have the Gravity Lapse, you have the Flame Strikes. There's a lot of tools that Kael'thas can use on top of the Leorc already there. And then you have the Greymane, you have the Joanna, you have Malfurion. So there's just follow-up as well as engage coming out from a lot of those players right there. So let's just go ahead and just... There you go, just so you can see him a little bit better, because he is adorable. But that is him giving his draft analysis on this match. I don't think Bandit's too happy about that Nazebo, huh? What do you think about Nazebo? He doesn't think it's going to be impactful. That's the way that I'm analyzing that one right there. But once again, thanks for coming by. Thanks for hanging out. We've got 2 best of 3s this evening, 2 live best of 3s for all of you this evening. We're going to be following up with the Heroic Division a little bit later after this best of 3 series. So until then, we have some good games. But if we have to fill some time between, we'll figure that out when we get there. But it's so cute. He's adorable. But let's go ahead and get on into it because we got ourselves a game. On the left time, you know what time it is. It's party time with Poke Flute going to be on the Malfurion. EKB is going to be on the Greymane. Bishop Mist on the Kael'thas. We have Key to You on the Joanna. And we have Sealyman on the Leoric. Yeah? You helping? On the right hand side we have Saltscale Mrgles. Chopper's going to be on the ETC. Blaston is going to be on the Hanzo. Idiom will be on the Nazebo. We have Marama, I think I got that right, is going to be on the Ana. And then all the way in the solo lane we have Imperius, going to be played by Dylan. Let's go into our mid lane and check out what our players are already getting into as some shield glare already coming out. Let's actually get to the vision for the blue team, get an idea of what they're seeing. Rackham, thank you for gifting us a sub to Duke. Thank you so much, Rackham, for gifting that sub over. Enjoy your Asmapug, your Baja Rages, and your Gilded Beard in chat. What do you think of Nazebo? I think he's gonna get chewed up. Exactly. That squeaker's making my dog want to find it. Oh no. Bold predictions coming from Bandit. Exactly. All right, so we are gonna be seeing Sealyman versus Dylan in bottom lane, but let's actually check out what their rotations are going to look like, because we do want to make sure that we're still getting those stacks for the Kael'thas and also picking up as many of the gems as possible. He threw it just out of range and he won't get up to get it. It's very cute. And he's just staring at me like I'm supposed to get up and get it for him. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, stream. I hope it's not too annoying, or it's not too loud. Anyways, it's still going to be continued rotations. We are going to be having wave clear coming out. Kael'thas already sitting at 5 stacks on the Mana Addict at level 1. You want to get into that 20 range as quickly as possible due to the fact that you have the Arcane Barrier, which will use your total amount of mana. So it's not like Greymane where you have Curse Bullet where it does 40% of the current health pool. This is going to be an Arcane Barrier for the total pool of the mana that he has. So somewhere in the, I think it's like 800 mark is typically what we see once they actually finish out the quest. So it is just 800 extra survivability, and a lot of these fights are just damage mitigated. Anyways, this is just also a little engage coming out from Copper, looking to try and step up onto this enemy team, but they're not going to be allowing that to happen. I also do want to note that we have the Thing of the Deep from Nazebo at level 1. This was changed in the most recent patch with the 10% spell power at the 75 mark, excuse me, at 50, and then 100% at the, 20% total at 100 stacks, 10% at 50 stacks. There we go. So you're increasing that spell power, and I mean, Nazebo with some spell power increase, that could be a little devastating as the Gravity Lapse does connect onto them. They do have this great mid lane push coming in favor for the members of Party Time, and they're going to force back a couple of the other members from Saltscale Mrgles. Zombie Wall just to zone them away, but this mid lane fort is looking like it's going down very, very quickly. We still have Imperius battling out the Leoric in bottom lane. Greymane getting the Dark Flight right out of there. Also uses the Disengage just to roll away. Kael'thas Chain Bomb spreading around a little bit. They need to back off, but with that happening right there, they do open up mid lane a little bit for themselves on the side of Party Time, playing that real strong to start this out. Rack, thank you so much once again for gifting this up to Duke. Just that. Now you have Asmapogs and finger guns. I mean, the finger guns, honest to God, they go with any other emote. They really, really do. It's just the best. Anyways, we are gonna have another small engage in mid lane. This is gonna be Chopper a little too out of position as they need to get out of here. The healing from Marama is gonna be just in time. We are gonna be seeing 7 talent tiers pop up fairly soon, but let's go ahead and look at some of the other numbers before we actually get into that range, because we have had a couple engages back and forth. We've seen some experience being picked up, so it's good to just kind of get an idea of what that information looks like earlier in the game, and then we'll check on these numbers once again when we get into the later half. I was actually expecting Sealyman to step up and try and get into Dylan Monster, but doesn't seem like they'll get the kill right there. But Blue Web Weavers will descend in favor for Party Time. See, Zell's got the right idea. Zell has 100% got the right idea. Oh, sorry. I heard a stitch being pulled, and I looked over, and I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to operate on the hedgehog later because he's just tearing it open, anyways. Key to you is gonna be able to get out of there with a lot of damage put onto them, but Web Weavers do descend, and Pyrrh's gonna be clearing out the bottom lane. Leorc doing a little double soak, gonna be just pushing up mid lane a little bit. They don't want to prioritize that too much, it seems, mostly because they've already got that stepped up. They want to try and maybe open up top lane for themselves a little bit further, as this is the boss lane. You can get a lot of really good push pressure coming in through this entire lane, so I don't blame them trying to prioritize this. And sticking up here makes a lot of sense. Actually, mid lane's going to go down. Hanzo won't be able to clear that out quick enough. That was really, really good from that early push coming in for them. Hanzo, though, can rotate up into this top lane just to help out and maybe clear a little bit quicker. I would expect them to have the explosive arrow at level 4. I didn't look ahead of time. Yeah, they do have explosive arrow. And actually, Joanna is going to get picked off right there. First blood of the entirety of the game coming in at 5 minutes here. And we'll be onto that Joanna coming out from Saltscale Mrgles, but getting pushed back in this bottom lane fairly hard. This rotation from Hanzo, this is showing that they want to try and get a kill. Dylan Monster needs to be a little bit safe. They'll dive out. There's still a lot of damage coming out onto the tower from the minion wave, so they don't have to worry about that anchoring for them right there. But actually, the rotation coming from Bishop Mist almost gets the kill onto Dylan Monster, who has to hearth out of this bottom lane. 71 gems sit on the side of Saltscale Mrgles. They should be watching these turn-in areas to make sure they deny this. Sealyman has bottom lane controlled for now. Greymane going to push up top lane a little bit further. This makes a lot of sense to me, actually. You can see that they're trying to turn in bottom through Sealyman's vision. Actually, let's jump over to said vision for the blue team, get an idea of exactly what they're seeing as they're trying to defend these turn-ins. Nazeebo does show top lane. Quite a few are coming in through bottom just to try and start this engagement in their favor. They know that this is going to be a 5v4 since the Nazeebo is showing in top, and that's why they're being this so aggressive into the enemy side of the map. That is a great route out from Malfurion, not connecting in time. Jonah has a condemned power slide to get Chopper right out of there. I've been hanging out with my neighbor's dog too much, apparently, and I just keep thinking it's them just playing this game. I love seeing more Hanzos. I agree. Sonic Arrow damage. I've been killed by a Sonic Arrow, and that is probably one of the most, like, you go and see, like, wait, what killed me? And you're like, oh, it was the Hanzo auto. No, it was the Sonic Arrow, and okay, you're done playing Here's the Storm that day. Level 7 for Kael'thas? Sunfire Enchantment. Avoid activating Verdant Spears causes Kael'thas' next 2 basic attacks to instead deal 164 spell damage. If both of these attacks hit an enemy hero, gain 15% spell power for 10 seconds. This is actually a pretty strong build. There's I've seen some Kael'thas actually go into, there's a Verdant Spears talent at level 1, and that's like you're cycling your autos in with a lot of your ability damage. You can shred. You can really one-shot people with that build. But I like this. This Mana Addict at level 1 still provides more mana for the mana entire pool, as well as a shield, and it's just such a strong talent to argue against. Getting 2 forts. I agree, Mongoose. How you doing, bud? Thanks for coming by. For anyone I didn't say hi to in chat, welcome. Muffin, how you doing, friend? Thanks for coming by. It's good to see everyone in chat. It's good to be back casting Nexus Gaming Series. Welcome, everyone. I have missed all of you. I kill someone with a Sonic Arrow. It's always a cause for celebration. I don't blame you. If I was getting consistent kills with the Sonic Arrow, I'd be throwing myself a small party every week too. Especially if I'm not using the 20 upgrade as well to get that Sonic Arrow kill, because I believe the 20 speeds it up. But this is a bit of a kerfuffle in this bottom lane as they're trying to deny the turn in. But there's a lot of damage thrown out onto them. They do get the top lane fort. Mid lane is going to be having a bruiser camp pushing in. Excuse me, bruiser camp pushing in and through there. And they deny the turn in. They've denied the first turn-in. Keep in mind, that's 50 gems for total. That means that they've not got one in yet. Nazeebo sitting at 109 stacks. So they have completed Things of the Deep. So this is going to be... Let's look at Nazeebo. 20% spell power increase. Yeah. So you just baseline, you get 10% for 50, 10% for 100. Ooh. That's a little scary, I'm not gonna lie. Dax, how's it going, friend? Thanks for coming by. I agree, opening night for NGS, it's a big one. Phoenix is gonna be out. Dylan taking a lot of damage right there. Oh my god, how much damage just went onto Imperius. Hanzo Sonic Arrow just narrowly misses, as I believe the face melt from the ETC actually helped them out right there. Sealyman is gonna be going down, but will the Nazeebo be able to make it out? Actually, key to you is so very low. Sonic Arrow goes out, doesn't get the kill. They're trying to get the snipe with the Stormbow. 58 gems currently sitting on this Hanzo as they're able to slink back and get away. A 1-for-3 trade in favor for the members of Party Time. And they say, well, time to party on the boss. Everything is right in the world. What's up, DB? How's it going, bud? I think Bullseye Sonic is underrated. You follow up on anything with extras. Yeah, that is true. You do get a stun off it. It fires faster and there is the stun. That you are correct. It's probably the most picked 20 talent in ACC. I thought it was, I always thought it was play of the game was the most picked talent, but I wasn't 100% sure. Sorry, I'm skimming through talents and I'm realizing we have Ravaging Spirit and we have Nano Boost. So I'm assuming this is Nano Boost on to the Nazebo, but speaking of Nazebo, he's going to get bodied right there. Arrow comes out from Hanzo, more or less is just going to buy some time, but Nazebo's still gone, and Red Web Weavers have descended. This is going to be top lane. They'll still get some value out of this Web Weaver, but mid lane's already cleared out. Bottom lane was probably a quick rotation as well. I think they can kind of just let top lane start to stack up and just manage bottom a little bit faster, and that's exactly what you're going to be seeing them do. Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense here. And okay, we have the celestial, excuse me, not the angelic armament from the Imperious at level 10 right there. We're gonna see the 13s come through for both sides. We'll look at those talents and then we'll go ahead and cycle through the numbers once again, get an idea of what the experience damage and healing has looked like thus far in the game. But it's another turn in here for Party Time, and we saw how much value they already got from the first Web Weaver. This would be their second of the game. They're going to try and get a back-to-back here, but Blastum needs to turn in as quickly as possible. They're denying for now. Let's actually, can we get the vision for the red team really quickly? See how they're going to be, see what they're seeing. Phoenix does come out to zone them off the point. They have enough to turn in here, and so this is buying time, and that's exactly what I was kind of getting at here, is they're not watching this top turn in, so that does allow them to be able to get that last little bit as needed, and that will be second turn in for the members of Party Time. What value they get with this is consistently my question here, because the fact that they got 2 forts off the first one and we're 15 to 13, we're looking a little bit low on the experience side for Saltscale Mrgles, but things can change at a blink of an eye. A team fight can change everything, and we'll see what happens here. But this is the fight that they need to take on the side of Saltscale Mrgles now, sooner than later, because of the fact that, well, 16 talent tiers right around the corner. Key for you will be going down. Really good pick onto the Joanna play right there. Need to spread out, so they're not going to be spreading that chain bomb around. Is able to rotate back into that top portion right there, but this is going to be a celestial charge onto Sealy Man. They end up following up with EKB onto the Hanzo as well as the Imperious. That's going to be a 2-for-1. Seaman very low, but isn't going to be going down, as the Web Weavers will continue to push on in. With just their Joanna down, they're going to say that's enough. Excuse me, we still have enough players on our team. Let's go ahead and just continue to push through top lane. Greymane sieges very well. We've got a Web Weaver to anchor in a sense, and Kael'thas has a little bit of CC to control the fight if they do try and step up onto them. So during that, they'll be able to collect 16 as well as a top lane keep. So far, the members of Party Time playing their game, but Saltscale Mrgles, as I always say, not out of this just yet. We are also in a best-of-3 series. Let's actually turn that on, because I do have a little thingy for that. Boop. Oh, that says best-of-7, doesn't it? Best-of-3. So there we go. Best-of-3 series, so that way anyone who's wondering does know. So we could go to a Game 3 overall. I personally always am an advocate for Game number 3s, but we'll let the teams decide that one right there. But 69 gems in the pocket for Saltscale Mrgles. They shouldn't pick up a single other one unless... well, then they have to pick up 420 in total after that, because that's just the next step in the meme progression. With the 16 talent tier on the opposing side, they're turtling up, and they really don't want to try and step out to defend this. They want to defend underneath the keep, and this makes a lot of sense. I mean, you're down a talent tier. The enemy teams have consistently good fights over you. CTC with the power slide. I was waiting for the mosh, but it's going to be interrupted immediately. Hanzo with the arrow to follow up. ETC goes down, dropping quite a few gems. We have a Phoenix out from the Kael'thas as well. Sealy Man is in very deep here. Hanzo tries to step forward to pick up the gems as they dropped, but they will dissipate over time, and that's going to be quite a few on the ground gone. I believe it was actually... unless they picked up a few. Oh, that was a really good scatter shot coming out from Hanzo, and that's Imperious following up into a second kill on Leoric. They're going to chase further into this. This Greymane diving out with the Darkflight Blade, or excuse me, Blastum is a little worried right there, but that's a zombie wall to slow them down. EKB is very low, rolls away. Sounds coming out from Poke Flute as well. They need one gem to turn in, but look at top lane and look at bottom lane. A lot of this is stacked up, and they need to manage their lanes. And Nazeebo will be able to do that in top, as they are going to be working for that 20 talent tier. But as I noted in draft, they're going to be trying to play for 20. They're going to be trying to end before 20. And with the momentum currently behind the members of Party Time, I don't blame them for pushing up as aggressive as they have, because they're just like, we don't want to fight post 20 Nazeebo. That's not a GG, well played, it's over by any means. It still is. It's just something you're going to be worried about, because that's a lot of team fight damage coming in from said Nazeebo player, as they will be able to interrupt this for a little bit. Idioms is just 46 gems. They just, oh, they do get it in. They need one gem turned in from Blastum or Chopper. Top lane, as I keep noting, stacking up, constant catapult pressure will be an issue, but that aside, we have a Phoenix out, we have a Gravity Lapse onto the ETC, Chopper taking a lot of damage, Power Slide right out of there as they spread the Chain Bomb. They end up getting picked off. They find themselves a Nazeebo as well. This is going to be Red Web Weavers descending. Dylan Monster will be going down a 3 for none, as that will be the Ana down as well. Blastum going to get chased out of here. Does have the leap over the wall. Should be able to disengage from this, and this Web Weaver phase should buy them time. Oh, Gravity Lapse will be enough right there. Yeah, you don't get out of that one. All 5 members of the red team go down, as we have a Red Web Weaver phase, but I'd say it's going to be mitigated. Are death timers long enough for them to end? It's 5 seconds on ETC. I think they might be able to end here. It's a little risky. It's a little risky, but it's possible. They're gonna, Mosh Pit goes onto 2, I believe. That's going to be a lot. No, this is not going to be enough, and that's going to be game number 1 going over to the members of Party Time. GG. Well played. Woohoo! An amazing start to our season number 8. They got this. I honest to God, I thought the death timers were short enough where they could have defended that. I thought we were going to a Kalaris core, 100%. As I will use this time to just chug tea. Whew. Cat made the difference, but Cat Peach isn't in this game, Ghost Dunk. But makes me mad that most Hanzos go Q build. I actually don't see this too often. It's usually scattered arrow. It's usually simple geometry at 1. If they need the wave clear, they go explosive arrow at 4. This one's usually never outmatched, I believe is the name of the talent. Yeah, because serrated arrows is at 4, because that's the race talent, and then never outmatched is the cooldown reduction. This is pretty standard. I believe Ninja Assassin, I think, is what we see, and then piercing arrows that usually pairs well with the simple geometry, and then play of the game is what I see. Kaleo, thank you for the spooky worm. W build is supreme, much more value. Yeah, I mean, I will say this. I think in part you have to consider the fact of skill. Some people feel a lot more comfortable with this skill shot rather than the Ricochet skill shot from the simple geometry. Me, when I was learning Hanzo, this is the build that I preferred, or along this lines, is because of the fact that I was single target rather than multi-target and having to get value with the scatter arrow. So as I progressed, I obviously swapped out of that because, well, I see the value from it. But yeah, no, I get you. I think it's also sometimes comfort as well as what you're just looking for in the team fight itself. All right, I should have actually DM teams because I forgot to do that. I forgot that that's on me. It's been a little bit. That's the wrong side, Bahamut. There we go. All right, where is first man or map? I literally, okay, PSA, if you're gonna play in a league, do not have your set self to private so that people can message you about maps. The only reason I make a point about this is because I literally told the teams before we started. I was like, hey, make sure your DMs are open. Makes my life a little bit easier because I just saw you in draft. Serrated arrows is good on certain maps. I agree. I agree. Like Cursed Hollow, I often do see it. I thought Spooky Worm was necessary because Catbeach is the one who remembers it's a thing. It's true. There's a lot of commands that I was actually, because I go through the commands often, and I was like, oh, I forgot that this is a command. Okay, cool. All right, well, apparently I'm not making the map, and my phone thinks I'm saying something to it. All right, that's that. We're going there. Who's got what? Who's got what? Mark that. What's up, Galaxy Quest? How you doing, bud? Did you watch Galaxy Quest on, what day was that? It was, because I actually had dinner with Totski, and she was the one who told me. On October, was it October 31st? Yeah. Galaxy Quest had its, like, 10-year something or another on the 31st, I want to say. Alrighty, well, we're gonna get into game number 2 here in just a second. We got the lobby. All right. So that is going to be okay, and then that will be that. Alrighty. That way I can let you know how we all got here. Have this and this and this. Did you see the Galaxy Quest documentary? Wait, there's a Galaxy Quest documentary? I'm glad you're enjoying the stream, Galaxy Quest. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They're like, we're ready, and I was like, your host, though. Cool. I let them know that I'm ready. I gave them a spooky worm, and let's go ahead and get into this. I did not know they made the documentary about Galaxy Quest, though. I should check that out. Sounds interesting. We gotta push the button. Came out as one night only in theaters, hit streaming like 2 weeks or something. It's a full documentary about the movie. Well, while we're waiting for game to start, Galaxy Quest documentary. Never Surrender, a Galaxy Quest documentary. Filmmakers and stars discuss the filming of this and social effects of Galaxy Quest, the comedic takeoff of Star Trek with brilliant commentary. That sounds interesting. I'll have to watch that. That sounds really, really fun. When it comes out to streaming services, I'll be sure to check it out. But let's get into game, everybody. I'm sure you are interested in finding out how and where we went to. Welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. My name is Bahamut. I hope you're all having a great night. I hope you have a wonderful beverage or a cozy blanket or something just like that. Either way, thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting the community and thanks for supporting the stream. Party time is going to be up 1 game in our first best of 3 of the evening as we have Saltscale Mrgles trying to take it back in game number 2. But I'm sure you're wondering, wait a minute, Bahamut, how are we in game 2 and what happened to game 1? I got you covered. Don't you worry. Home team is going to be Party Time. And Saltscale Mrgles will be losing the coin flip. Or excuse me, Party Time will be losing the coin flip. Saltscale Mrgles will be given, or actually opting for first pick priority in that first game. Dragonshire and Sky Temple are going to be banned out by them. Tomb of Spider Queen, excuse me, Towers of Doom and Cursed Hollow will be banned out by Party Time, as Tomb will be the first map chosen by them and won by them. They opted for first pick priority once again on the side of Saltscale Mrgles. So map choice goes back over to Party Time, and that is going to be Battlefield of Eternity. And I gotta say, for map number 2, where you just were the, where you were the dominant force on the map, I cannot blame them for going to another team fight heavy based map. Gonna ban out the Hanzo as well as the Sylvanas, and we have an Alarak on a ban on the right hand side. ETC will be the first pick, really prioritizing that cow. They really want to have that setup and that control from the ETC. Not his strongest map in my opinion. Mostly because you're going to be team fighting a lot. Someone who zones, like ETC can zone, but his health pool is very low for that. Something like a first pick Johanna would be strong for them, or even a Garrosh, or dare I even say a Murden. Like all 3 of those would be really strong just because they have good engage, disengage. They've got a little control with that Stormbolt or the Condemn or the Wrecking Ball, so they just throwing people around or just stunning them. It's really good. Monkus, how you doing, friend? You're back? Welcome back. So Ariel Joanne on the left-hand side, can't blame him for that one. They're going to need something to sustain the Ariel, but they're going to grab a Greymane and a Malthael here on the right-hand side. So I'm assuming this is Malthael for solo lane, Greymane for race potential. Joanna, alright, so what are you going to pair into this Ariel? You could go, well, actually, we're in ban phase, excuse me, my mistake. They actually need a healer on the right-hand side. Anna's already gone, so actually they get rid of the Tyrael, huh. Not what I was expecting. Not what I was expecting whatsoever. Let's get Kel'Thuzad. Is that a staple for him? Vala's actually going to be banned out right there. I was wondering, like, so they need something to sustain the Ariel healing. And I think a Vala would actually be really powerful for that, because the fact that you can just build up that Well of Hope so consistently and so very quickly. Something in the past that we've seen are things like Gul'dan. Greymane is one of them. I wonder if we like see a Cassia here. Cassia would be kind of strong because you can blind the Greymane, you can blind the Malthael. Malthael, if they're blinded, gets 0 value, so I would actually think about that right there. But they're actually going to go for Raynor. This actually might be Exterminator Raynor as well. This is the one map where we actually do see the level 1 talent Exterminator, where it gives you the 100 and, well, it's total to 150, I believe, but you get 50% damage increase when you inspire. I'm paraphrasing that completely wrong, but we'll see if we get it in the game. Anyways, ETC Greymane, Malthael, they need a healer, and they need something else for wave clear. Tyrande and a Chromie. Okay, Chromie to poke from a distance. I'm not opposed to that. They don't have a whole lot of dive to get to the Chromie, so that's working out for them pretty well. Rexar's the solo lane into Malthael. I like it. I like a good Kel'Thuzad. Like that right there, that's going to be super strong. Not sure why Tyrael with Malthael and ATC picked. I'm not sure about it. They might know something from scrims that we don't. Or they're just like, it's all right. We'll just ban out whatever. We'll get what we want. Look at that. Look at him right there. Do you see that? You see how cute he is? He knows he's being talked about. But a good draft overall from both sides. I'm trying to think, like, who would I give it over to? I kind of lean a little bit into Saltscale Mrgles. Like, names aside, last game aside, purely looking at draft, a little bit over to Saltscale Mrgles. I think that they've got decent race. The solo lane's pretty strong. Chromie is, I think, the X factor for me overall. Chromie is going to be the big X factor because I think she's going to bring a lot to the table that we need to consider. But all that aside, let's go ahead and get on into our game. On the left-hand side, we have the members of Party Time. It's going to be Sealyman on the Rexar. We are going to be seeing Bishop Mist on the Raynor. Key for You is going to be on the Joanna. Poke Flute going to be on the Ariel, and EKB on the Kel'Thuzad. On the right-hand side, we have the members of Saltscale Mrgles trying to take us to a game number 3. We've got Dylan Monster on the Malthael. In the bottom lane, we've got Chopper on the ETC. We've got Eames on the Greymane. Blastum will be on the Chromie, and Mara, oh my god, my brain is going to be on the Tyrande. Welcome to my stream, everybody. Moist Venus, thank you for the 69 bits. I just saw that. We will resend your alert when we get out of this game. Thank you so much for supporting stream, and thank you for memeing here, as that is going to be a lot of damage on the Bishop. Missed Chopper is trying to get into this backline. Man, I just cannot get off that name. We do have Dylan in this top lane just trying to push this back, as we have this Misha Rexar is something that we'll try and keep our eye on this as best as we can, because into a Malthael might be a little difficult. Charge doesn't connect right there, as they end up taking a little bit of damage just trying to retreat out of the lane. Looking at our timer in game, we are at about a minute and a half from the announcement of the Immortals, so we should be seeing teams break off and go for camps fairly soon. Sometimes, and oftentimes, wow, that Iron Skin was very well timed, because that Lunar Flare could have been what was solidifying the first kill of the game. Comeback time starts now. You'd give it to party time? Okay. This is what I was talking about with splits coming out for the camp, and I like the Greymane being the one to rotate down here to be able to grab that. Looking back over in our top lane, just going to have a bit of back and forth between the Malthael and the Rexar. As they try and dive onto Rexar, Misha Bear is like, I can just turn around and charge on you. Like, you're going to be a little caught out right there, as they do grab the camp in bottom lane for Saltscale Mrgles. EKB very low, sitting at 3 stacks on the Master of the Cold Dark stacks. They need 30 total to get the 75% spell power, but once they get to 15, they get the Glacial Spike, which allows them to have that spike that jumps out of the ground. They can chain onto that and pull people in. It's often where you see a lot of Kael'thasaz really get a great combo post 10, because you have the Shadow Fissure on top of that. But it's getting there. The hard part is getting there, and you're expecting to get there through this bottom lane back and forth, but they're not stepping up too much. They're actually trying to play this not slow and safe, but they're just trying to make sure that they're not feeding stacks. So just playing by the front gate and waiting for the waves to crash into them makes a lot of sense when it comes to the side of Saltscale Mrgles. Greymane, though, seals the camp in top lane. Raynor going to be over here on the left-hand side. As I noted beforehand, this is going to be Exterminator, so there you go. Basic attacks deal 50% more damage to minions, mercenaries, and monsters. This is increased 100% while Inspire is active. So there you go. That's the wording. I completely said that backwards right there. As chains go out, Kael'thasaz gets a great combo onto a couple members. That's a lot of stacks for that Master of the Cold Dark, and they find themselves an ETC First Blood as well. Going to be going over to the members of Party Time, as now they'll push on in through this top lane with Greymane as well. Misha Bear a little bit on the low side, but they're going to try and step up onto Greymane. Gets a heal out as well. This is, oh, Malthael. Malthael was trying to grab this camp, and they just got bullied off of it. Poor Malthael. And now the race comes out, starting out in favor for the members of Party Time. Okay. Sorry, I got pinged for something. I want to make sure that it wasn't anything like crazy important. It was just Cat Peach saying thank you. Only 2 stacks at 1 minute 30. Not on pace. I don't know, like I don't have a basis for Kael'thasaz stacking, but 10 stacks at this point seems pretty good to me. Chopper trying to make their way out of there, as the Rexar will be getting picked off in the top portion of our screen by the Greymane. Key for you is going to be trying to back out of here, as they're just really being forced back in this map. And this is what I was talking about in the draft. I was saying how strong Party Time was in that last game. And I was just like, yeah, they're going to play this super aggressive. And now we're seeing actually Saltscale Mrgles forcing back the enemy team. They did actually steal away the camp, so there was that aggression right there. But Chromie dumping sand on top of Kael'thasaz, going to put them to sleep for a little bit. As Key for you, oh, they had the face melt. I wonder if actually they didn't hit the face melt, if they would have actually got the kill with the Chromie sand blast, because that what seems like it was just out of range. But now they re-step up onto this. They're going to try and poke out. And the same thing with poke works. You'll be seeing Raynor take so much damage from Blastum. Oh, and the Sand Blast hits Raynor in the butt. Gonna be going down right there. Meanwhile, we have Greymane on the right-hand side, slowly grabbing that objective. On a 2-lane map, she gets stacks by level 10. Okay. We're a third of the way through, a third of the way to 10. I think that, oh no. We're a third of the way through, 2/3 of the way to 10. There we go, caster math for all of you. So yeah, maybe a little bit behind, but scaling, the other thing too is like the levels will start to slow down from 7 to 10 a little bit, and then obviously 10 to 13, and then it just keeps slowing down more and more. So obviously like 1 to 7 is very quick seeming, but I feel like this window right now, it's going to take them a little bit of time to get to that 10, unless they pick up a bunch of kills right here and they just steamroll through this top lane. But for the first time, Saltscale Mrgles are very much in the driver's seat here. They don't have a ton of shielding on this Immortal, but still going to get a lot of good value into this. Also going to have 7 talent tiers while they're pushing in. Immortal below half health. They might try and step up and maybe take the well. If they can find a couple of picks here, that'd be huge for them, but chains out from Kel'Thuzad. Just going to be getting the chain stacks right there as Greybane dives out. They're going to try and get onto EKB, but they're baited a little bit too much, and the Nexus forces are a little too OP as Chopper's trying to make their way out. I don't think they have any more CC in their pocket to get out of this one. No power slide. Oh, okay, there's a power slide to get out of there, and they only lose 1 and all that. That's a trade I think you're happy with on the side of Saltscale Mrgles. What about raisins? What? Skig, how you doing? Mosher, how you doing, friend? Chromie actually solo laning against the Joanna, which is a bit of an odd sentence right there. But key for you, I mean, they can't really play into that Chromie. Malfield does rotate into top. Greymane and Friend's going to be in bottom lane. Armor of the Arclich value, yeah. Activate to gain 50% or 50 physical armor for 4 seconds upon activation. Near enemies take 62 damage and slowed by 35% for 4 seconds. Indeed, Glacial Spike, by the way, is up and available for anyone that is wondering. 15 Blight was granted for them. Let's see, top lane. Just a bit of a slow back and forth. Let's look at some of the other numbers, as we have 10 talent tiers rolling through in just a second here. And Siege Camp, Dylan Monster, they should have seen the Misha. I would assume they saw the Misha right there. Time Trap out from the Chromie as well. That will scout out this rotation. Let's actually get the vision for our red team. See what they're seeing. Okay, so the Time Trap only just was just showing what's in the bush right there. But they get the camp for top lane. Gonna grab the camp for the right-hand side as well. I would assume that they're over here. Oh, actually not gonna be grabbing their own camp, as this is going to be 10 talent tiers rounding the corner for both teams as they go for the race at the start. But this is going to be a race more so in favor for party time. Saltscale Mrgles need to find their way into this. Always nice to see you stream. Thanks so much, Masha. I appreciate that, bud. Double camps in top lane, pressuring up. They've got a camp in bottom lane as well on the opposing side. This is going to be Time Trap going out. I think it connected onto one. I swore I heard it, actually. Or maybe they might have just been summoning it, as that will be the last rights onto the Misha. They get the stack. That's what Dylan wants right there. They're just like, you know what? I'm burning a 65-second cooldown to get 1 stack. Might be worth it. I mean, it's 5 seconds off per stack, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like I'm wrong on all of this information. Either way, you get cooldown reduction from a kill. As a very well versed caster, just gonna be able to that's my information for you. Is actually Chopper's gonna have to get a power slide right out of there. Greymane is actually just racing down below. They're both teams are just racing this out. Greymane just on their own. Unfortunately, that's 5v1 when it comes to race, and you're not going to be winning that one out. Technically 6 if you count the Misha Bear, as we have 16 seconds on the last rights. Don't need it right there, as they will be getting the kill onto the Bear. This will be Immortal in top lane. For anyone wondering why it's going into top versus why it's going into bottom, it's because it's the more well-defended lane. Top lane still is its front gate, as well as the 2 towers and gate. Bottom lane, you can see that there's really nothing right there. So it's going to prioritize the more well-defended lane. That's how they know. Technically, they could have been here ahead of time, but either way, I think they want to try and maybe steal some of the regeneration globes or push out the wave a little bit further. Bless Shield comes out. Idiot's trying to get out of here. Power slide from the ETC, not using the mosh pit right there. Starfall coming out from the Tyrande as well. More of a zoning tool than anything else, as the front gate is going to be going down. The Immortal down to half health as well. Chromie trying to dump out that sand from a distance. Does have all of those clones from the, once again, the first time level 1 questing talent. Kel'Thuzad finds a Cursed Bullet. There's no way they're chasing this. EKB takes a lot of damage right there. Penetrating round. They don't really have a lot to interrupt. Well, they do have Glacial Spike, actually. I was like, is the ETC gonna try and mosh, like solo dance the Johanna? That's definitely possible. Peeking down into bottom lane. Actually, we can also take a peek at the 65 seconds, and it's 5 seconds. Okay, so we were right on that. Last rights onto Misha, doesn't get picked off right there. Kel'Thuzad will be hearthing back to the Hall of Storms. Crystal Aegis comes out from the Ariel in time to save the Johanna. Temporal Loop is actually gonna be used. There's nothing to save the Johanna. They already had the Iron Skin out, and they already used the Crystal Aegis, so that was a very good call from Blastum just to be like, all right, I see that oh, that's a very good mosh. They need to dump that damage in. Chromie gonna follow up with the Greyman as well. 3 members get moshed, 2 go down, and Bishop Mist is gonna follow up as well. A humongous mosh for the members of Saltscale Mrgles as they grab a fort in top lane. Immortal Phase should be popping up soon. This is gonna be showing for the blue team, so if we actually jump over the red vision side, it'll swap. This is going to be where they need to race. This is going to be where they need to defend. So now with the 2 kills and the fort down, they're gonna grab the top lane camp. We do have a minute on the right side and a minute on the left. They do have this camp down in bottom lane if they want to grab that. Really, really good play coming out for the members of Saltscale Mrgles in this game number 2. Vying for that game 3. Showing that they could potentially take us there. That mosh was so good. That mosh was massive for them. Oh, Misha, I think you're going to get hit with the last rights here, darling. I don't think you can... And it's just, you're getting stacks. You are on cooldown, but you are getting stacks, so... Value? I'd say yes. I mean, you're not going to have it for 40 seconds, but do you think you're going to fight over the next 40 seconds with the Immortal Phase? Probably. Do you think your fight's going to be dragged out for the next 40 seconds? Definitely, with the way these team fights have been going. So I don't think they're going to be too far off on that one. This first phase might be going over. Kel'Thuzad getting a chain in onto a couple. Johanna trying to step up and get some pull onto them as Dylan is just forcing them back, splitting the enemy team off a little bit. Chromie and Greymane getting a lot of great siege onto this first Immortal Phase, and that will be first phase going over to the members of Saltscale Mrgles in a bit of a driver's seat here as we get into the later half of game number 2. Berserk, what's up? I'm just going to be having a bit of a split here when okay, no, they're going to be going full for defense. I was just like, are they going to try and race this? No, they're not going to try and race against this. This is just going to be them trying to step up. Chains went out. A lot of damage is thrown onto Chopper right here as they're just trying to make their way out. They're like, I just want to live. Full Immortal Phase. The majority of the Immortal Phase will be going over to the members of Saltscale Mrgles, but they might be losing their Greymane. Last rights goes on to the Johanna, but that's going to be a Crystal Aegis as well as the Iron Skin on top of all that, so they won't be losing them. Key for you needs to get out of there. A little bit low, but they find the crossfire of Chromie getting the counter pick, and that will be Greymane traded out for a Rexar. ETC in top lane, Chromie in bottom lane. The siege coming in with this Immortal is very, very lackluster, so they might not get too much here, especially with Raynor and the Raider as well, just putting in that damage. But they're down here. They open up the front gate. Short cooldown for Maltheo when late comes though, and yeah, exactly. It's good. It's big to have that cooldown reduction as soon as possible. No one saw it. No one saw it. There was no. We're 60 some seconds because yeah, no one saw anything. No one. Trading Rex for Greymane is worth. Panic Mosh at choke point. Dylan Monster trying to come back in here. They do have last rights up and available. The Immortal has gone down. They need to back off though because Kel'Thuzad could really body you in front of a front gate and you do not want to be too stepped up into that. So they'll back off. 16 talent here around the corner for them as well. Top lane fort looking healthy. Top lane push is good as well. Let's actually jump over the vision for our blue team. They're going to be finding themselves down 2 talents here. Oh, ETC power slide onto the point. That's going to be key for you trying to throw out the Blessed Shield, but they don't connect onto anyone. ETC actually steals this away. Last rights, no, doesn't even go out. Actually, it did go out, and I think they did get the stack right there, as they are going to be sitting at 3 stacks. Yeah, they threw it on somebody. It looks like maybe Misha. Kel'Thuzad 4 stacks away from being a real hero. At this point, 1 stack. It's like Varian, Varian pre-4. You're just a bruiser minion essentially. But they're I wouldn't say even soft pushing this bottom lane. They're stacking this up. Kael'Thuzad does finish out the stacks, but oh, a very good detainment strike coming out from Poke Flute. ETC chasing on in. They wanted to get that kill into Kael'Thuzad while they were low, but they're not going to find it. Poke Flute, though, does pop the Crystal Aegis onto themselves. Rayman has to roll to disengage away from that. It's going to be the Power Slide and Mosh Pit onto one single solo dance. It is and gets traded out. This is, ooh, a lot of damage onto Key for you, but they need to back off. They could have actually maybe turned and maybe played into the Joanna fight, but I think with the Gray Man already down, they just didn't want to risk it. They'll back off, 36 seconds on them, 17 on the Ariel, though. Will they grab a camp for bottom lane? No, they're going to be going straight up for objective. So while we're looking at objective, let's actually look at some of their numbers as well, get an idea of what the healing damage and experiences look like thus far in this game. And we'll see who's able to race this out and who's going to be taking third Immortal of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Hit the alarms. Kael'Thuzad is a... Alright, hold on. Let me hit the alarms, everybody. Here, I got the alarms. Ready? Kael'Thuzad is a real hero. Perfect. Alright. That's why you come to my stream. We have this Immortal phase so far being poked out by the members of Saltscale Mrgles. We do have a a catapult, and it will be consistent catapult pressure through bottom lane, since they do have the keep picked off. Top lane will be having the periodic catapult pressure, which is every other wave. You are going to be seeing that up there right now, but the wave behind it on the minimap you can see is actually not showing. But that's a dive in from Greymane onto the Misha. Detainment strike finished out, repeat defense finished out from the Ariel. Boars are unleashed by Sealyman. Chains coming in from Kael'Thuzad, but they're just getting, a lot of the members are getting split away and pushed back, as this is going to be a Mortal phase. So far, a little more controlled for Saltscale Mrgles, but look at the talents. You're probably seeing it because there's no 16 on the side of party time, and they're waiting for 16 for them to have a party time, but that might be a little bit sooner than they expected, as that will be Malthael going down first. Last Rites went out, but didn't connect. Temporal Loop will be finding the Joanna, so they trade out 1 for 1, a Joanna for a Malthael. Oh my god, the Curse Bullet onto Sealyman takes them down so very low. They do get some healing out from the Ariel as well. This is going to be Raynor in a bit of a rough spot. Kael'Thuzad throws out a lot of damage. Doesn't get the reset, I don't think. No, they did get the reset. Okay. I didn't think they hit anyone because I thought someone's, like, Marama's health did not go down whatsoever, it seemed. ETC in this backline somehow. I died. They went for a bit of an adventure, and all of a sudden they're going to be over there on the left-hand side, but Kael'Thuzad's going to be forced back, as well as the rest of the team. 16s are here, but they lost their Joanna as well as their Raynor. This is going to be a very healthy Immortal going through top lane. Got a bit of a defense, but still a very, very healthy Immortal. 17 minutes in the game. You need a big defense on the side of party time. Crummy is having a blast in the sand. Exactly. I was asking about the Kael'Thuzad, so it's just a bunch of honks from Untitled Goose Game. I just put them in an order on my stream deck. So I push one button and it plays like 7 or 8 different honks. Isn't a skill named Sandblast? I believe that is actually her baseline Q. Actually, right there, you can see it right there, hitting 40 heroes with Sandblast. And she actually went for the piercing. That's what you just saw right there. Power Slide from the ETC coming in. There's no mosh, but I thought it was actually going to be setting up. But that's a Last Rites onto Key for you, who's very low. They won't be getting the reset, but they still get the kill. And this is looking like a very strong Immortal phase pushing on in through this top lane. Power Slide from the ETC. Mosh Pit comes out onto one. They do have the Detainment Strike, but it actually hits someone else instead of the ETC. Mosh Pit went full duration. Crystal Aegis buys a little bit of time. Stasis from the from Sealyman, but they end up getting picked off. And now with 3 dead, I don't know if this defense is going to be coming through. We'll see, but it's looking like Saltscale Mrgles, they're not going to be giving us an 0-2 series. They're going to be taking us to a Game 3, and they're going to be vying for that first place this evening. GG's, indeed. We go to game number 3. What a very good game. Game 3. Game 3 indeed, Day. Smoke rules, yes. Just Mrgles in chat. Moist Weenus, thank you for the 69 biddies.
Nice work, Bone Daddy.
Thank you, bud. I appreciate that, my friend. Let's show talents once again, and I'll get stuff updated in the background. Let's get on the Mrgle hype train. Choo-choo. Alrighty. We can pull it back to Bandit and I, and let's go ahead and get into our next game. I have sent messages to the respective team members. Oh, I know what map it is. I know what map it is. Oh my god, Carpe Felis. Thank you for gifting 5 subs. Nate Dog, Son of Loki, Tano, Krinovast, Arrow, enjoy your gifted subs. Thank you so much, Carpe Felis. I appreciate that, bud. Thank you for supporting the stream. Thank you. Enjoy your asthma pugs, your finger guns, your Baja Rages, and your gilded beard in chat. Sorry. I'm setting up our game. Oh, since I know what the player icons look like, I can do that as well. All right, let's get this picked up by them. Whoo! It wouldn't go choo-choo. What noise would it make? I said that out loud, Smoke, and I was like, it wouldn't go choo-choo. What would it go? Thank you so much, Carpe Felis. I really appreciate that, bud. Thank you. Thank you for supporting.
Hello.
All right, let's swap some players around here. Okay, team 1 has first pick. Yep. All that's good. Get them on in here. Side note, Sunday, December 8th, there will be a special event on the stream. We're solidifying time and everything. More information to come on about Wednesday. So this is the announcement of the announcement, but we do have a special event for Sunday afternoon. We'll get it all set up, and then yeah, we'll get going into that one. But Sunday, yeah, some fun stuff planned later in that day. As I said, we'll solidify the time, and then I just don't want to like talk about it and be like, it's at this time, and then it changes. So we're going to lock down the time, and we have the majority of people locked in for this, so it's going to be exciting. I can't wait. Thank you for casting. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Team 2. Alrighty. We just need a ready from one of the teams, and then we get going into this one. Deck the Brawls Part 2 when? I need to bug Weenus about that. I think Weenus was the one who organized that one last time. That was a blast, because I just got day drunk. I got day drunk and talked about HOTS with like 4 other people. It was actually really, really fun. We were all talking about it. They were like, I don't know how a 4-way cast is going to work, and then we ended up just nailing it. Like, I think we killed... I had so much fun with that. Like, I would do that in a heartbeat again. That was so much fun. Like, just like it's on someone else's stream. We had an observer. Like, I was just like lock on and just talk about HOTS and just drink alcoholic beverages. All right, everybody, let's get into the draft. We're here. We're on Braxis Holdout. Yes, you didn't hear wrong. You heard correctly. We went to Braxis Holdout for our final game in our first best of 3 of the evening. Do not fret, do not fear. We have another best of 3 coming up after this one. It's going to be at 7:15 PST, maybe a little bit later. Hopefully the teams aren't going to be too... We'll see. We'll get to that when we get to that. But anyways, we have a Heroic Division coming up at 7:15 PST. So either way, we are in Braxis Holdout, and let me let you all know how we got here. The home team this evening is going to be Party Time. They lost the initial coin flip, and they opted for first pick on the side of Saltscale Mrgles for game number 1. Dragonshire and Sky Temple were banned out by Saltscale. Party Time decided that Towers of Doom and Cursed Hollow were not allowed in this matchup either. Tomb of the Spider Queen will be the first map chosen by Party Time. They won that. The members of Saltscale Mrgles opted for first pick priorities, so map pick went back over to Party Time, who took us to Battlefield of Eternity. They won that on the side of Saltscale Mrgles. They wanted first pick priority on the side of Party Time, so now Saltscale Mrgles is going to take us to Brax's Holdout to close out this first best of 3 of the evening. And I gotta say, we're closing this out. I think this is just perfect. Is it Black Hearts? I wish. Braxis to the Maxis? Best map in the game. I'm so happy to be able to cast a Braxis game because I feel like I haven't got one in forever. Want to buy Maiev Mephisto? Want to Buttsbot finally kicking in. Hello, Buttsbot. All right, we have an ETC Chromie being banned out as they recognize that as a lot of big power from that last game on the side of Party Time. They're gonna get rid of the Alarak as well as the on the right. They pick up a Junkrat on the left hand side. Point control is really powerful. And I don't blame them whatsoever. And then they'll grab an Ariel Gul'dan for the first 2 picks on the side of Saltscale Mrgles. Wave Clear and Shrine Pressure is really good. Sorry, I was trying to think of the word. From the Gul'dan Ariel, because you have a lot of control, you've got a lot of not sustain damage, but you just got a lot of damage over time that Gul'dan throws out. So the Junkrat, I was looking at chat. Kel'Thuzad, I could see seeing it being an option here, but I feel like Junkrat and Kel'Thuzad might have a little anti-synergy with the concussion mines versus the chains that he's throwing out and trying to connect onto people. So we'll see if they end up going to that. They still need a solo lane, and I think they need a little bit more wave clear. Junkrat's good, but I feel like they just need a little bit something extra. Solo lane wise, okay, see, the Jaina makes sense to me. Because you can Riptire on top of that. Or even Water Elemental for sustained damage. That makes a lot of sense. You hate Braxis? I love it. Can Bishop play Junkrat well? We're going to find out. Oh yeah, Kel'Thuzad is banned on this map. You are right. I forgot about that. There's some issue. Thank you, Monkus. Thanks for reminding. We do get a Garrosh and a Greymane. Okay. I like this Garrosh quite a bit. His point control as well. Braxis Holdout. You're playing around the point control. You're playing around how aggressive you can be, and also what manipulation you bring to the table around said point. I think the Garrosh brings a lot in with that, as well as the Warlord's Challenge to lock down some members so Greymane can Dark Flight in and get a lot of value. Still solo lane. I'm not. So the only thing about this for me is the Li Ming. I feel like she's gonna struggle here. This makes sense to me. Like I was feeling like this was going to be the case, especially into the Leoric, but the Li Ming is, and the reason I'm opposed to it is because I feel like they lack a lot in their Zerg wave clear. Like Leoric's got a little bit, Junkrat's got a little bit, but like outside of that, Li Ming doesn't have the best Zerg wave clear. She's got great team fight, and there's always the way that you can look at it is it's like, well, if we don't need to team fight, or excuse me, we don't need to clear Zerg waves if we win every team fight, and so it's like, yeah. But what if you don't win every team fight? Like, what's your backup plan here? What are you going to be doing? So we'll see here on the side of Party Time. But as I said in the last game, when I'm looking at this, names aside, last games aside, all that just purely based on draft, I'm leaning a little bit once again towards Saltscale Mrgles. No Rexar? I wasn't expecting the Rexar, but I was thinking about it. I think they honestly grabbed Leoric for a little bit more combo, as well as a little bit of wave clear as well. Selexia, thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had a wonderful stream. I got to catch a little bit of that heroic division matchup you had earlier between Perfect Gems and Archon. Might have been it, but either way, we're in game. Let's actually get on into that. On the left-hand side, we got the members of Party Time. We are going to be seeing Poke Flute going to be on the Malfurion. Bishop Miss is going to be on the Junkrat. Key for You is on the Murden, EKB on the Li Ming, and in the solo lane we have Sealyman on the Leoric. On the right hand side we got the members of Saltscale Mrgles. We're going to be having Dylan Monster on the Malthael. In the bottom lane we're going to be having Chopper on the blanking on his name, Garrosh. We have Marma on the Ariel, Idiom on the Greymane and blast him on the Gul'dan. Let's go ahead and check out our level 1s and see what we have begun. I'm trying to find some without a questing talent. There we go. Malthael will be in the solo lane, so we'll keep an eye on that one as the game has progressed. We are going to be having Power Hungry for the Li Ming at level 1. Pretty much the standard blow him up for the Junkrat at level 1 as well. On a Pale Horse for the Malthael. We do have Swift Sweep. Okay. Trying to get some of them claps a little bit more faster. It was grand. I'm glad. Thank you so much again, Selexia, for the raid. I really appreciate that, friend. What kind of a gentleman leaves his bear at home? A rude one at that, apparently. So right now, it's Braxis Holdout's not the quickest map in the world, but I will note that it does have one of the earliest spawn timers in the game, or objective timers in the game. There we go. Words are hard. So it does announce at 1 minute, and it's up and available at 1 minute 30. I believe Blackheart. We've had this discussion before. Either Blackheart's Bay is at. I think Blackheart's Bay might be the fastest in the game because I think the chests come up at 1 minute. There's like the 2 5-coin chests that pop up in the lower mid and the upper bottom that pop up. I believe those are 1 minute. So outside of that, I think Dragonshire and Braxis Holdout are the fastest with a 1 minute 30 to the actual objective being up and available. But either way, this is going to be Garrosh trying to poke out here as they have a concussion mine being thrown up as well. Camp will be grabbed in favor for the members of Saltscale Mrgles, but they have a lot of damage thrown into them. And I was doubting this Li Ming pickup, but it's showing its power this early into the game. Malthael going to break off and grab a camp on the right hand side. They want to make sure that they at least hold bottom lane. That way there's no charge going over. You have to have charge. Obviously, you have to control both of these if you want to get charge for your Zerg wave. Excuse me, Sacred. Oh my god. I can't think of it. Not Sacred Sweep, but either way, the whip into the wall, or the whip away from the Greymane is actually going to save them right there, and they turn around and get a first blood onto the Mrgles. Detainment Strike. There we go. I could not think of that. Upper bottom, he says. Exactly. Upper bottom. The upper portion of the bottom lane. What's up, Laughing Underwater? How you doing, bud? My under 5 minute game says, yeah, I actually got to cast that one. That was fun. That was the Cho'Gall one you sent in, right? Carpe Felix? I think it was a Cho'Gall game. Anyways, points are going to be going back and forth. Charge going to be going up in favor for Saltscale Mrgles. They have really good control over this as Malthael steps a little too far up into top lane, but I don't think the Leoric is going to be able to get onto the point in time. So Zerg wave will come through top. Do they rotate up to? How are they going to play this? Yeah, this is what I was wondering. Like, are they going to siege up with Gul'dan to push in from a range and kind of poke at this, or do they keep Gul'dan in bottom lane and split push? Looks like Greymane rotated into top because their siege is very strong, looking for a dark flight into Sealyman. Doesn't go for it, but that Leoric is looking real enticing right now as the Mrgles does dwarf toss in. They have a great Zerg wave still pushing in. Well's going to be going down in the top lane, so that lane sustain is going to be removed. That's very impactful in this solo lane matchup. But now I think they're going to be able to get the front gate. They'll get the well. They get a little bit of damage onto this fort. I think that's going to be about it. They won't take it down, but as I said, a little bit of damage. We're going to be talking about 2/3 of the entire fort's health. Meanwhile, in bottom lane, they're still sieging on through here. Leo solo killed Malthael. I think the Malthael stepped up way too far into the front gate right there because they still have the 2 towers, and Malthael might have been trying to dive the Leoric and try and get out at the same time, make them YouTube plays. Unfortunately, not the case. I do not agree with what either team is doing with the wave. Well, of course. Typical diving towers. Leoric will be going down to the garage. We are going to be seeing just tossing people off the point, and they'll be able to steal this away on the side of Saltscale Mrgles. And this is an easy fort for them. Easy fort. Don't know why they kept 4 on bottom. Couldn't tell you. I think the idea, like, at least in my mind, the idea was to split push, but they just never stepped up in bottom lane, and Li Ming, I think, might have been able to force them back a little bit. That's at least my best bet, or my best guess for these players, because I'm obviously not in their head, I'm not in their comms, so I don't know. Garrosh does anchor for the friendly team in the bush. They will be able to see them as they... Ooh, that's a very good concussion mine with the steel trap as well. They don't have actually Sticky Wicket just yet. That's a level 7 talent as they're very close to that one. Garrosh does go down. They find a Mrgles to trade. Li Ming gets a reset, finds a second one in Greymane. They're going to be sitting on the point. They actually get this stolen away. They don't even jump on the point as Liork goes down. Dylan going to be able to make their way out. Concussion mine splits a couple members away. Poke takes so much damage from the Gul'dan, and now we actually should be seeing the announcement for this objective. It is not the longest cooldown, as I said, on the map, as well as, you know, once you actually finish the Zerg wave, I believe it's just another 1 minute 30 counter.
Here we go again.
There it is.
The beacons are powering up.
Dylan YouTube plays, yeah, exactly. Alright, it's just going to be camps right now. While they're grabbing camps, let's actually look at some of the other numbers. I'm also going to chug tea. That Gul'dan hurts. I agree, Day. That Gul'dan really hurts. What are they sitting at for stacks? They're actually halfway through Echoed Corruption. They need another 20 stacks. If they actually had Echoed Corruption finished right there, that would have 1000% been a dead Malfurion, because of just the steps back. They would have at least gotten hit 1 or 2 more times from that. Anyways, charge goes over in favor for the members of Saltscale Mrgles, as Liork is going to be clearing out the top lane. Camp going to be pushing in through bottom lane. Actually, there's a camp at top I didn't see because of his player icon. Malthael looking for a flank into the enemy team. They don't have 10s just yet, but they're still going to be threatening and trying to push up with this. Chattering Teeth going to be chasing some members out of there. The one thing that I will note here, in some of your own games, pull that Chattering Teeth into the minion wave. It actually will hit minions and lock onto them, so you can actually kind of bait it towards your mini wave, let it hit a minion, and then have that eat the damage. Really good detainment strike coming out from the Aura right there. These constant detainment strikes to save the Greymane have just been so on point and very, very well played. Malthael and Liork just having a bit of a adventure. They're just kind of hanging out, doing best friend things. Let's watch this 1v1. I know there's a fight going down in the bottom lane, but we need to focus on the solo laners as well. Sorry, I'm watching health pools right now, as well as I'm just watching the mini-map. Okay, hold on. This fight is actually starting to break out quite a bit as Bishop Mist takes a lot of damage. Greymane dives in, finds the kill. That is going to be Dirty Trickster. Excuse me, not Dirty Trickster. Mayhem going out, and they don't get the kill right there. Malthael chasing out in top lane. And they realize, they're like, well, I should probably step up onto the point. It might be a little bit better for us as a team. Actually going to continue. Okay, no, they mounted up. I was like, well, they're taking a little bit of time right there. That's going to allow them to have something like a Li Ming rotate up. Does throw out a combo. Does step off the point. This will buy them a little bit of time. Liork's back here. Mrgles actually dwarf tosses in. I don't know if there was an audible cue for the Malthael, but either way, they just back off. While the enemy team is doing this in top lane, while they're showing a lot of members in top lane, this is a very smart call coming out from Saltscale Mrgles. They see that the enemy team is top through the mini map. Yes, there's this thing over here on the right hand side. It's free to use. You do not have to pay for it. It's not an add-on in the game, and you can actually get valuable information consistently about the enemy team when they step up into objective areas or even into the mini wave. Really good groundbreaker. Last Rites comes out. There was Riptire as well. Mrgles going down, but that's Garrosh traded out. Reset coming in for EKB, but there's actually, I think, a wave of force out from Li Ming actually pushed them just out of range of the Arcane Orb. And now we will just see this Zerg wave pushing on in. Oh my god, Totski with the raid. Welcome everyone from Totski's stream. Sorry for missing that. Welcome Totski friends. Welcome Frenzy. We are currently in our first best of 3 of the evening, and we have gotten to game number 3. Hello Belfrag. Hello Fishy. Totski, thank you so much. Bimpy, how are you doing, friend? Sorry if I missed anybody. I love you all. Nido, how are you? Oh my god, everyone's here. All the friends are here. Totski, I hope you had a wonderful night playing Storm League, and I hope you beat up all the evil baddies in the Nexus. They're pushing in onto a keep gate at sub 10 minutes right now inside of Saltscale Mrgles. And this is a lot of members on the left-hand side, very, very low. They're whittling down this keep. They might be able to grab this. They only have 2 Guardians left. If someone steps a little too far forward, look at Chopper. Chopper was looking for the angle into 1, but with 1 Guardian up there, just like, it's just disengage. Just disengage, look for 13s, and try and find another fight while we have the talent to your advantage. Look at Chopper, though. Mrgles tries to dive in. They start out right there. Key for you takes so much damage. Dropping your drumstick over by the boss over there. With that, they're going to grab this camp, and I would expect them to try and push through bottom lane with this. They've got a minion wave coming in with a catapult. They could easily go for keep, but they're going to cycle out and go for boss. I would assume this is going to go to top lane because I believe it works on the same premise as the Immortal phase from Battlefield of Eternity. You kicked a ton of Nexus butts? Good. Good. Now the big question is, what's for dinner? What's your post-stream meal? I'm assuming it's tacos. It's not Tuesday, but it still could be. Anyway, sorry. Let's actually look at what's happening in the game right now. As boss is going to be picked up, we also do have the Bruiser camp pushing in through top lane. Looks like they're going to try and play into this top lane keep. They do see that the Junkrat is in bottom lane. Let's actually jump over the vision for the red team. The other thing to note too is we have 36 stacks on the Gul'dan. Only 4 more necessary before they get that repeated step backwards, or just the... We'll figure it out. We'll look at it in just a second. Hold on. I want to know what they actually say. The opposite direction. Either way, this is a lot of damage on to Keith for you, who pops the avatar form, but still goes down right there to the lacerates from Malthael. That damage over time does produce, I believe, 1 stack for them right there, as Leoric is going to be picked off as well. With boss through top lane, they could look to potentially end. Junkrat trying to be as disruptive as possible, trying to throw some members around with the concussion mine. We do have the steel trap going out. That was what I was talking about, baiting it towards a minion or even the boss itself, where I think it hit right there. Keep goes down in top. 5 seconds on Leoric, 2 seconds on Mrgles. They'll back off. Thinking pasta. Think that'd be good tonight. Pasta's always good. Pasta's delicious. Nico and Nito, thank you for the follows. I appreciate that, my friends. Glad you're enjoying the stream.
The beacons are now
If you have infinite breadsticks, that's a good idea. Otherwise, it's risky. That is true. If you're gonna make pasta, I hope you have like breadsticks or garlic bread or something, because that has to go with it. Or may I throw this out there? This sinful idea, this horrible idea, pasta tacos. Back to the game. We are going to be having Malthael grab the camp on the right hand side. I would never deface tacos like that. That's so horrible. I don't think that'd be very good. We have the objectives charging up in favor for the members of Saltscale Mrgles. Leoric grabs top, rest of the team grabs bottom, so they know that they're split. They know that this is going to be 4v5. Once Leoric is also going to show in top lane too. This is a big thing. Once Leoric shows up there, they're going to try and step up into this because, well, they've got the advantage. Greymane's going to be diving on in. Avatar farm was used by the Mrgles. Toss goes out to throw them back in. Warlord's challenge will be there as there's a lacerate on top of that. There's no way you live through there as the silence comes out from Malfurion. They have Chopper just still chasing in and they find themselves a kill. Toss goes out onto Greymane. Do they have a Dark Flight for the Li Ming? They end up blinking back into them. The Dark Flight comes out. EKB is so very low, ends up going down right there. And they have a wave in bottom lane. They don't need boss here. They don't need the objective. They could just look to end with the death timers where they are, but they're going to back off. Malthael going to be going into top lane, going to grab the objective. That will be going through top lane. This is where the objective will be coming through. There's no keep, so you are 100% pushing into the core. The question is, will the enemy team's wave clear be a little too much? Spaghetti tacos. I mean, I think I'd try it. I'll be honest. I know myself. Like, I'd be like, can I have a small one or like half of one? Red team's just so strong. Ashen, like, they've been playing really good. Like, game 1 looked a little on the shaky side, but game 2 they started to come back. In game 3, whoo, wow, they've been putting on the pressure consistently. Riptire coming out to try and clear the wave. Leoric does go down to the Nexus forces, just a little too OP. Keith TU is going to be trying to do their best to actually put some damage in the backline. Greymane dives out. Core is going to be assailed, and it looks like game number 3 is going to be going over to the members of Saltscale Mrgles. GG. Well played. Can we just take a moment to appreciate that Pizza Hut's mad scientists haven't tried to make spaghetti stuffed pizza crust yet? It's laughing underwater. I will bet money that they've done that. I will bet money they've done that. They just were like, this is horrible. Let's never release this. Let's put this in the Pizza Hut vault of bad ideas and we'll seal it. We'll put cement over it. We'll just never ever see it again. The Mrgles turned it around. You missed the first game. Was it close? I I'd say that it was Tomb Spider Queen, just for anyone who was wondering, and Party Time was in the driver's seat the majority of that game. There was a solid level lead. They had good rotations. The wave clear was in their favor, and it just seemed like Saltscale Mrgles game number 2 just came alive. Like a couple levels into game number 2, it was looking a lot like game number 1. I'm not gonna lie. Like the blunt of it all is it seemed like it was really much going over in favor for poorly timed Party Time, as I can't read my own handwriting. But Saltscale Mrgles gave us a fun little series here. And guess what, everyone? We're like 20 minutes away from our next game. I know people who would make spaghetti sandwiches a pile of spaghetti between 2 slices of white bread. Cat Peach, why? 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 All right. So we're going to try and get a interview with one of the players really quickly. We already got them. Blast them. How you doing? Congratulations on your 2-1 victory to open up the season. How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good after that.
I can't blame you. Like, let's talk about game number 1, because I was just talking about it with chat really quickly. And so game number 1, Party Time was in the driver's seat the entire time of that game, and it kind of showed, and it seemed like you were on the back foot. What was it that transitioned you from game 1 to game 2? Was it just, oh, we figured them out, oh, we have momentum, oh, we're awake? Like, what was it that really started to switch that game around in your favor? Or the series?
Well, the reason why map 1 sucked so much for us is because we had terrible camp clear. The only camp clear we really had was in the Zebo, unless if I get my explosion on my Hanzo. So they were able to easily push in very easily as Greymane and killed us. In game 2, we didn't really have to worry about camps that much. So that's why we were a lot better, because we're a lot better team fight, but our macros still.
I got a shout out to your Chromie playing that game too was out of this world, but Chopper with that 3-member mosh. What are comms like when you get a 3-member mosh and you're about to end the game?
It was calm. Chopper basically just said, I'm just gonna wrap around them and hit a mosh, and we were.
That's it? It's just like, yeah, I got this, no big deal.
Yeah, he didn't do it a second time though. They realized what he was doing.
Oh, absolutely. Now, going into game number 3, we go to Braxis Holdout. This was your map choice of the evening. Is this a comfort map? Is this just something you want to do? You just want to have some fun? What was it about this map that was kind of the draw for you as a team?
Well, we saw how they played on BOE. Braxis, we basically did the exact same. Because they didn't have good camp clear. Like, all they had was Ming and Junkrat, but if Greymane gets onto any of them.
That's true. Yeah, Greymane had so much value consistently. It was such a fun series to watch, and thanks for having, thanks for being the opening series, at least on my stream, for Season 8. Before I let you run out of here, any shoutouts that you'd like to give? The floor is all yours.
Just shout out to my team for playing very good the last few games.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the interview. Thank you so much for the games, and I can't wait to see you further down.